Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for having us. We love coming when we come to visit. We love coming to this church. It feels like home. And we just want to share our hearts with you a little bit. We are very passionate about children's ministry. For years, we work at a home church, just making sure children have a strong foundation in Jesus. We want them to know Him so that when the storms of life come, that they have something to lean on, someone there's hope. But God has especially placed it on our hearts for those children who are already in the storms, who are already going through really tough stuff. Children who are just trying to survive, who don't get a chance to be kids, who are dealing with homelessness, addiction, sickness, abuse, all these things that we don't want kids to have to deal with. And we want to just love on these children and show them there's Jesus, give them a little bit of hope, something to hold on to, so that as they grow older, they'll be able to spread it to other kids and hopefully serve God the way we want to serve God. And Costa Rica God's always placed Latin America on our hearts, and Costa Rica is a perfect launching spot for us. There's a Spanish language institute where we can learn the language and the culture and really get some roots in so that we can learn about everyone, and wherever God sends us next, we'll be prepared with the language and how to spread His ministry wherever He wants us to go.
Costa Rica has just been a natural starting point for us in the school, and it actually was my starting point as well. My first ever mission trip when I was 13 was to Costa Rica, and that's really also where my faith really began and had a launching point. And so missions and my faith has always been intertwined, and I think I always kind of knew in my gut that long-term career missions was where I was headed. And so when Frank and I met, it was just pretty much clear, like, this is where we're going, and in our relationship and our marriage. And I had been part of CoLaborers since before we met. We actually kind of met through CoLaborers. Frank had been best friends with David and Melissa for a long time. And I served as their intern. But long before even that, I really just felt like the Lord had put this phrase on my heart of love the ones the rest of the world has given up on. And so that has just kind of been there throughout my relationship with the Lord as just what we're supposed to be doing. And so it's just been this natural side of coming alongside CoLaborers and seeing how they work alongside local ministries and being able to see, okay, they care about what is the culture, what are the needs, and how do we relationally love on people and show them Christ while meeting their physical, emotional, spiritual needs. And so that's what we're hoping to continue on, going into these places, whether we're in Costa Rica for the next 50 years, or whether it's starting there and then going to Nicaragua, meeting some of these crises they're having there, or reaching the refugees as they come into Costa Rica, or who knows. I mean, there's all these possibilities, and we're just excited to be able to walk in faith and step into what the Lord's calling us to. And so basically what we're starting out doing is going into the Spanish Language Institute. And so that's in San Jose, in the capital of Costa Rica, and they've been teaching missionaries the language, Spanish, since, I don't know, I think the early 1900s. And so we get to come alongside, and we're grateful for the resources. And basically the goal is that while we're in school, we can start partnering with the local ministries, seeing what they're about, what they're doing. And by the end of our year of school, we will have found in faith, we know that we will have found the organization that CoLaborers and that we want to partner with long term. And so that's kind of where we're headed, and we would love to one day also open a home and school for these troubled kids that wouldn't have a home otherwise, that wouldn't know the love of Christ otherwise, that we can be that home, that we can be that love of Jesus to them. And so that's basically, that's where we're headed. We're so grateful that you want to join us in this. Praying for us too as we, move to another country with the toddler, and, that we can be the hands and feet of Jesus, know how He wants to lead us. Yeah.